Hi.
Hi.
Hey. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you. Amazing. Welcome back to another episode of I'll Be Honest podcast. And today we decided to unpack about mental health and therapy.
Yeah.
And we want to have the conversation to see if it works, if it's for us, if it's not, and talk about our experiences with therapy and
Mm-hmm.
the involvement that it has in our community.
Yeah.
So,
So let's just start with this. For you,
yes.
has have you ever struggled with your mental health in the past?
Yes.
How? In what way?
Because you're like, yes, I've had. I also want to say I'm currently dealing with it too,
Mm-hmm.
just in the sense where it gets overwhelming
Yeah.
when I have to navigate between my emotions, my logic, and then it affects my mental completely.
Yeah.
And usually when that happens, it physically affects me as well.
Yeah. I think what you just said is it's so powerful. You said like navigating between your emotions and your logic. I
Mm-hmm.
think in our 30s, that combination, that balance between both has
Yeah.
been so prominent. A lot of the things that we're going through right now has to do with dealing with our emotions and our logic.
Yeah.
When it comes to relationships or career or whatever, it's always one or the other,
Yeah.
and learning how to balance both. And sometimes when there's like a disconnect between both,
Mm-hmm.
that's when your mental health struggles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then at that point, what do you do? Like, do you seek help, or do you just sit there and try to deal with it until it goes away?
Yeah.
And those are the things that I struggle with.
Like figuring out how to overcome it.
How to deal with it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So if I do seek help, would it be professional help, or would
Mm.
it just be talking to someone,
Mm-hmm.
just let it out?
Yeah.
So those are the things that I struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
I've never done therapy before. I've
Really?
always wanted to seek like professional help with a therapist,
Yeah.
but I think I just never had the willpower to just reach out, do the research,
Mm-hmm.
and see if there's someone out there. Because there's so many form of therapy that you can get.
Yeah.
And then I would have to do the research. First of all, I would have to understand what I'm going through to be able to even figure out the type of help that I
That you
need.
need. Yeah.
And then I look at it and I'm just like, let me just call
Let
my
me
friend.
just do. Yeah.
Let me just call
Yeah.
Tino and
I get
she'll
it.
figure it out.
I get it.
You
I
know?
get it. Yeah, because I also struggled a lot back in the day with my mental health. There were days when I used to cry every single day,
Yeah.
and sometimes you wake up
I know
feeling
those
sad
ones.
and you don't even know why. Like there's no actual like, oh, this
Reason.
happened, so this is why I'm sad. Sometimes it's just you feel this pain in your chest that's just like this weight,
Mm.
and it's just taking a toll on you. And this was me for like maybe about 3 years of almost every day
Of crying. What did
of
you do at that point?
crying.
Because it's either anxiety, trigger, trauma, or depression.
It was just depression.
And what
And
did you do?
I, I'm embarrassed to say nothing. At that time, I did nothing. I remember because no one even knew from my family that I was struggling.
Really?
No, because I was so good at hiding. I was so good at masking. So
Mm-hmm.
I would be like, let's say we're talking or something and we're laughing, we're laughing, we're laughing. And then I'm like, I'll be right back. I'm just going to go around the corner and cry for a second.
Friend?
Yeah. And then I wouldn't, and then I'd come back like nothing happened.
Wipe
And
away your
yeah,
tears.
like
Fix up your
nothing
makeup.
happened. And this would happen. I could be in a setting and I just feel the urge to cry. And I would just go and like hide somewhere, do something for a minute, cry, and come back.
Why didn't you feel the urge to speak to someone about it?
I think at the time I didn't think that people would either understand. I also thought that I was overreacting. Because if I'm crying and I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sad to you,
Mm-hmm.
you ask me why, I don't know.
Because
Because
you
it
do
do.
that a lot too.
What?
And I've
What?
told you, if you need me, call me. No matter where you are, no matter how far. And you don't call me. You don't call me. You'll call
That's
me the
so
next
true.
day, and then you'll tell me, "Oh, I was going through it,
Yeah.
and I wanted to call you, but I looked at the time and it was late, and I know that you have to be up early."
I had
Da,
all
da,
these
da, da, da.
excuses as to why I didn't call. I know.
And I kid you not, sometimes I feel offended.
Really?
Yep, yep. I be in my feelings.
Because I didn't call
'Cause you
you?
didn't call me while you were in your feelings. Because I'm like, I'm here.
Oh,
Like I can give
wow.
you, and I can give you the best advice. I can even pray with you if you need
Yeah.
prayers. But I can
Yeah.
just be there. I want to
Yeah.
help you. That's what friends are for.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm your favorite person in the entire universe, and you don't call me, of course I'm gonna feel sad. I'm gonna feel sad
Yeah.
for you. I'm gonna be feel sad with you, and I'm just gonna be sad because
I didn't give you the
you
chance
didn't.
to
Yeah, the
be
opportunity
there.
to just be there for you.
No, I get that. And it's not even anything. Even what you just said about how I was like, oh, it's 11 o'clock. It's probably super late. I know you sleep early because
Yeah.
you go to the gym early. So I'm trying so hard to be mindful of you. And
Mm.
I think the reason why I didn't say anything all the years in the past was because I'm always being mindful of other people and their needs. And like, oh well, if I tell her this, I don't want to add burden to her. I don't want to just like pile on her. I know she
Baby,
has
at
probably
this
stuff
point,
going on.
put yourself first.
I
If
know.
it's 3 a.m., forget me sleeping.
I
It's me
know.
time,
I
like,
know.
because
And
that's what friends are for.
yeah, no, I know. And back then, that was not a thought in my mind. Honestly, I was like, I'm gonna ride this out till the end. I don't want anyone to know about it. I was really working extra hard
Hmm.
so that people um, wouldn't know, wouldn't figure it out. I think eventually I told my mom, but that was like that was like years later.
Hmm.
And even so, then going back to therapy, I didn't, I didn't think I needed it, but like I absolutely did need it.
Yeah.
I did, and I
Did it
didn't
help?
think I needed it. I didn't go. I didn't at first for those first few years. I didn't go to therapy.
Okay.
I just did it on my own. I tried to figure out ways to cope by myself, and a lot of times it was just tears,
Hmm.
right? It wasn't until 2018, end of 2018, after that whole year ended, and I'm like, yo, I need to make some changes. Was my first time going to therapy. It was like I think it was December 2018.
Wow.
Yeah, first time going to therapy. I think I only went twice, and just talking to somebody. I didn't stay with her because I didn't feel like we aligned on like what I was looking for.
Hmm.
But she was super nice, and we did end up talking. And just having someone to talk to that was not in your circle, who knows your whole life, who could be biased to your situation, who's,
Right.
you know what I mean, who's gonna
Yeah.
add other things that are based on what they know of you already. It made a difference.
I believe that. Because then again, like, your close friends or whoever it is could also be a parent. They will have their own opinion based on how much they know of you.
Exactly.
So again, it's not. I don't think it's sometimes needed.
Yeah.
But for me, how I go about to my friends is
Mhm.
that if let's say I'm going through financial issues,
Yeah.
then I'll call one of my friends that's super financially accurate and intelligent, that
Mm.
has like really a good awareness of
Mm.
finance period.
Mhm.
So I'll just go to that friend and have the conversation. Hey, I'm going through this. What are some advice that you could give me? Because like I'm
Okay.
struggling out here, and I know that you're doing good. Help a sister out,
Yeah.
type of
Yeah.
vibe. So I will go to, yeah, I have like specific friends for specific things and
Mm.
issues. If
Yeah.
if I'm going through relationship issues, I could go to either a friend that's been married for years,
Mm.
give me some advice, type of
Yeah.
thing.
Do you feel like with the advice you've gotten from your friends, when you do go to your friends, do you feel like what you receive from them has helped you, or do you feel like sometimes their advice has been biased based on the lens that they're looking at you through?
Um, it has helped me
Yeah.
a lot. There's certain advice that again it will be biased. A lot of their advice will be based on their own experience,
Mm.
especially if it's like on a personal, emotional level.
Yeah.
It will be them putting themselves in my shoes and
Yeah.
try to, well, or them try to um speak about reoccurrences, occurrences that happened in their past, in their life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So then those type of advice, I'm like, oh, that was your experience, baby.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it fits to what I'm going through.
Yeah.
So, but to a certain degree, yeah, I would say that their advice did help me. But then again, it comes with knowing who you talk to, because not
Yeah.
everybody's gonna give you the right advice.
Yeah.
So I have to be very discerning on who I'm allowing myself to open up to,
Yeah.
that can give me the proper knowledge for me to overcome a challenge that I'm going through.
Exactly. Exactly. It's about discerning who you're going to, and I think because even when we're talking about like mental health, sometimes things are a bit lighter. Like sometimes if you're going through financial issues, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
it's an issue, but sometimes it's a bit lighter than, let's say, anxiety or things that are really really like hitting you deep.
Yeah,
And I think there are times when even friends can't help you.
that's true.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean? Where
yeah.
even friends, like there's certain things where I know that I need to discern when, if you need my advice, I can only do so much for you
Mm-hmm.
because I'm not a certified
Yeah.
therapist, right? And there are times when I do feel like we need to seek help from therapy, but we just sometimes don't want to because we're like, well, what can this stranger do for me?
Mm-hmm.
How many times have we said that? Like, oh, she doesn't know my life, so how can she help me?
Yeah.
Versus someone that does know me. But people who do know you, sometimes, like I said, they look at you through a certain lens and they use their own personal experience because it's all they have to really go on based off of, which is
Exactly.
totally fair.
Yeah.
But this is all they have to go on, so they'll give you what they know. They won't. They don't have like the entirety of knowledge based on the situation. So I do think that it's important. I think it's often overlooked, especially in the African community or the Black
Oh,
community.
especially the African community. What mental health for us? It's
Doesn't
like,
exist.
no, you're going through spiritual warfare.
Yeah,
This is
talk to God, which
you're
as you
fighting
should.
demons.
But
They'll look at you like, yeah, you need deliverance.
yeah,
Get that Jezebel spirit out of you right now. And it's like, no, I'm not going through no spiritual warfare. It could be.
it could.
I don't.
It could
I
be
definitely do understand the attachment behind it, but again, mental and spiritual are two separate
two
things.
separate things.
They connect, but then again, it's on a separate level.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm going through like I'm anxious because I have a test that I have to do within the next 2 hours, and I don't know how to overcome this anxiety. You're gonna tell me, oh, it's the
It's
spirit of
spiritual.
torment? No, it's just anxiety.
It's just anxiety.
Exactly, and sometimes it can stem from trauma. It's a trauma response.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely the African community, we need to do better. We need to do better at acknowledging and being able to associate certain things. It's not always
Yeah.
spiritual or religion. Like
Yeah.
it's
But
mental.
why do you think that the African community, I don't know, it could also just be the Black community as a whole, because I do know it's not just Congolese people. It could, you know what I mean? Like, it could be a lot of different cultures.
Mhm.
Why do you think that they have such a hard time, not even just about therapy, but accepting that mental health is a thing? Because they don't believe that mental health is a problem. If
Yeah.
you're not physically ill, you're fine.
Lack of education.
Yeah.
Back home, they don't have educational, that type of education. They do have education, but that type of education on
Yeah.
mental health, no.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
What is depression? You just had a baby and you're going through postpartum depression?
What is postpartum?
Yeah,
Why?
that's the spirit of
Another spirit.
exactly. Like,
At this point, we're just picking out of a box. This is the
Yeah.
spirit of.
exactly. Like cast it out in the name of Jesus. No, it's my body is responding to something and it needs help.
Yeah.
So I believe that it's the lack of education.
Yeah. And it's unfortunate because now I feel like the past generations are bringing that to us. They're bringing that out. And if we talk about mental health, because the things that we learn as, Canadians or whatever, what we learn is that mental health is real. We've either gone through it or we've dealt with friends who've had it, we've
Yeah.
experienced
Or
it.
family members.
Or family members, exactly.
Yeah.
So we understand that mental health is dangerous. And there's so many people who commit suicide that you're like, how?
I
But
was just gonna
you were
say.
just smiling yesterday. I just spoke to you the other day and we were kikiing about this and now you're gone. And I've seen it even with celebrities. Celebrities who you think is living la vida loca because they are rich, they're beautiful, they're
Yeah.
successful, they have money, they have all these things.
Meanwhile, they're going through it.
And then they're going through it, and it's like, how did you go from A to B? We only knew you as A. Now you're at B, and you're no longer here because of mental health. That shows you alone that, it's like a silent killer.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost taboo. Also,
It is especially for our community. Yeah, it is. People they don't believe that it's real, and I think just the denial of it is very dangerous.
but I'm very hopeful for this generation, especially this generation of Africans, because we're making a change
Yeah,
in our communities.
yeah,
We're more open, we're more aware as well, and we're more willing to change. Whereas the older generation, all they know is how they operate.
Yeah.
Oh, especially when it comes to traditions.
yeah,
My grandfather didn't do this. Why am I going to do this?
yeah,
Whereas we look at them, we're like, no, it's time to change.
yeah.
We're not okay. We're not doing okay.
Yeah, it makes me sad because I remember we were talking about this on our friend's podcast where were like, oh, if my mom doesn't want to do therapy,
I'll be her
I'll be her
therapist.
therapist. And I thought about that after, and I'm like, yeah, but like facts, because it's actually how I feel.
Yeah.
Because I want so badly for you to be okay, but because you won't seek therapy because you don't believe in it or whatever, now it's up to me to kind of be that person for you when that's not how it should be.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that a lot of us in this generation now have to do that for our parents of the old generation, our aunts and uncles or whatever family members, because they won't do it themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that also, like our family members are also old school, so it's like I don't know this stuff, so because I don't know it, like you said, lack of education,
Yeah.
because I don't know it, I don't believe it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And now here we are.
It helps sometimes, like especially letting them know that hey, maybe you're dealing with this and that. At first, I know for a fact, based on my own experiences,
Yeah,
there's a little bit of offense, and plus, like the age gap, like my mom, the daughter, who are you? Tell
yeah,
me what's going on.
that's true.
But then when you approach them on a level where you're someone that genuinely cares about them, then their guards,
Yeah,
go a bit lower.
yeah.
But I know for a fact, like my mom's not she's not gonna listen to all my advice, all the stuff that I tell
No,
her.
because you're her child. So a lot of times, like, we can only do so much. And
Yeah,
even when we do have really good advice, or we think that this is what you need to do,
yeah,
they're gonna take what they're gonna take and leave what they're gonna leave, because they're like, technically, I should know better than you, right? Because I'm the parent, you're the child. But the generations are different.
mm-hmm.
What you knew back then is not what's happening today. And
Exactly.
what's happening today is that, bro, you need therapy.
Yeah, you need help, and
You-
that's okay.
yeah,
There's
it is
nothing
okay.
wrong with it. That's okay.
Yeah,
I feel like at this point, everybody needs therapy.
I agree. And there's a lot of people who say that it doesn't work. Therapy doesn't work.
Cause also, I think we had that conversation. It depends who's helping you, who's your
Yeah,
therapist.
yeah,
Cause there's a lot of therapists that are out there, and it's a job. It's a 9 to 5 for them. So they're
yeah,
only there for the money,
yeah,
you know. And do they care enough about their job?
yeah.
Maybe not. Maybe they do. Maybe not. But if you're having a bad experience with therapy, then now you have to start questioning yourself. Was it the therapist? Did I pick the wrong therapist?
Yeah.
So that's another thing too. How do you know which therapist is good out there for you?
I think you still there's a level of discernment you have to have, because, for example, as a Christian,
Mm-hmm.
I'm more inclined to go to a Christian therapist, because
Right.
I know that what you're going to be teaching me, helping me with, like telling me that it aligns with what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Not going to give me some other rituals or things to do to get over my anxiety, whatever, that I don't believe in, right?
Yeah.
So discerning, who do you go to? It's just like having friends, right?
Yeah.
Who do you keep around? It's the same thing as finding a therapist that matches, or aligns with who you are and what you believe in,
That's
and
true.
and how they practice it. What kind of, like, what would they tell you to do? I'm not gonna be out here doing crystals and
You know what I'm
things.
saying? Oh, let's do some yoga poses.
Yeah.
Ma'am.
Not a yoga poses. Yeah. There's some things I'm not gonna do.
Yeah, no.
So because of that, you have to discern. And there are some, like, I did go to a therapist, and I didn't feel like she really helped me. Like, she didn't say anything. She wasn't really talking to me.
What do you mean?
Like I felt like I was the one that was like, yes, we have to talk, and they're supposed to kind of, but
Help?
yeah, but I felt like if I didn't say anything, we would have sat there in silence.
Was that your first experience with
Second.
therapy? Second?
That's my second.
But the first one was.
First one was good, but she was more on, like, the crystal side. That's why it was like,
See,
I wasn't really about it.
for someone who's never done therapy,
Yeah.
if I was to experience 2 bad therapy sessions,
You'd be like,
yeah, I'm calling my friends.
I'm calling my
You know,
friends.
do you want to be on payroll? Cause
Yeah.
I'm going through it.
Yeah.
'Cause why are you a therapist if you're not
Yeah.
gonna help? And the whole crystal thing too.
Yeah. I
Why
didn't.
are
The
we
room
doing
was
that?
full of it and whatever. And, I just didn't feel comfortable. She was very nice, but that's why I said I didn't really click with her. Second one was a Christian therapist, but still, I didn't feel like you were giving me anything. I felt like I had to pull out conversation. Like, we're just trying to have a conversation, and you're not really engaging with me or asking me questions or
Yeah.
helping me with anything. So I was like, I feel like I'm talking to myself right now.
If you don't mind me asking, what was the reason why you sought therapy for the second time?
Um, it was because I was in a space of, like, in between where I felt lost. I
Mhm.
felt like I'm not where I want to be. I don't know how to get there. I'm plagued with so many fears
Mhm.
and insecurities and imposter syndrome and all the different things that are literally attacking me to where I'm now sad and I feel like this weight for things that are almost imaginary. And I didn't know how to navigate. I had so many thoughts and I needed to talk to someone to help me align my thoughts and
Mhm.
see clearly.
Right.
Right? So that's why I decided to try out therapy again and just have someone to talk to that can help me navigate all the thoughts that are creeping in, the good and the bad.
Mhm.
And we were talking about the podcast the whole time.
Don't piss me off.
We were talking about the
You're
because
going through it,
I'm
and
telling you, there
like
was nothing.
it's a cute conversation, but
It was
this
cute,
is not
but
what
subscribe
why
if you
we're
want to
here.
subscribe. But like, she didn't really help me in that sense. So I was like, for our second round, I was like, yo, does therapy really work? Because
Honestly, I would have went on Google review. I told the world do not, because you're not a professional at this point. You're an
yeah,
amateur.
and I don't really know what to expect when I go to therapy. I'm expecting that you kind of have a guideline on how to get things out of me. I'm a very logical person.
Do you do your research?
I
Do
did.
you research the therapist?
I did, yeah,
Okay.
I did, and she had good stars, good ratings, and also like her bio, and I knew she was a Christian, all the things, right? So I was like, okay, she seems, prominent. Um, and like I said, I'm not an emotional person. I'm very logical. So
Mhm.
sometimes it's hard to really dig outside of the logic and dig into the emotional side of it.
Mhm.
So I need help for it. I need you to kind of pry me with questions and try to open up the walls that I have, remove the walls. So if you're not really asking me anything, I also won't. It's like I'm digging up my own walls. Why am I here then? I'll just do it in my room. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it didn't. It didn't help me. I ended up doing the walls thing, removal by myself. After that, I haven't really gone back since.
Do you feel better now knowing that? Because from what you're telling me is that therapy didn't really work for that situation, but were
Yeah.
you able to overcome whatever you were going through, your challenges on your own?
For the most part, yes, I do. I'm still going through it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah.
I'm still going through some of it. I think until I do find another therapist, I think I'm just really do the best that I can for
Yeah.
myself right now. But I know that I can feel that I want to talk to someone. I can feel it.
Mm.
I just haven't found the right person to talk to.
Yeah.
Um, and it's unfortunate, but it doesn't mean that I don't believe in it. Even though it's happened twice, I don't believe that.
You still have hope.
I still have hope, and I know that therapy does work. I know that
Mm.
therapy saves lives. I know that it's needed.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to find what works for you.
Yeah.
And I don't want to carry on this notion to my kids that therapy doesn't work, or that why would you go to someone you don't know, or all these different things that we're saying, because it's destructive.
I would definitely do therapy,
Yeah.
but it would take me some time just because number one, I will research the therapist.
Mm.
And number two, I have to be able to be in a vulnerable position where I can open up to a stranger.
Yeah.
Because now I'm talking to a whole stranger and you know my business.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I feel like
Yeah.
it's almost what we're doing now to the podcast. For me, it's very therapeutic.
Yeah, because now we're talking to all of you
Yeah.
guys.
Comment below.
And
Comment below if you guys are down to be our therapist because it's nice
yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely open for therapy for sure. I will just need to know what I need therapy for.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I have mood swings. Like I'm going through a season of something specific, and then the next season comes, and I forget about the season of wilderness. Now I've reached a promised land. I'm like, oh, we good out
Oh, we
here.
good over here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a smooth ride. I mean,
Yeah.
it had its bumps and hurdles, but
Yeah.
yeah, I always try to be optimistic and hope for a better tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
But definitely therapy will be helpful to reach
Yeah.
that tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, I'm like, no, I think I got it from here.
Yeah. That's good.
I have a solid support system.
Yeah.
If my support system fails, which I hope they will never, then I'll go out there and then seek professional help. Because I remember I went through a season. It was a long season, and I went through depression, and I lost a lot of weight. Like I lost almost I want to say 30 pounds
Wow.
within 6 months. And at that time, like I was going through just bad stuff after bad stuff kept happening. And what reached the level where I was like, yeah, I need professional help is I had like my dog had a really bad accident.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. And then I've never dealt with something like that because it was just so close to death. And I felt
Yeah.
like I've witnessed what death could have been like right before my eyes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I not stopped it, but I prevented it from happening.
Yeah.
Like that messes up with your mental health.
It does.
Yeah. So from that point, like, because I just kept having flashbacks of that event.
At that point, I think you should have gone to therapy.
Yeah.
100%.
My friend suggested it. Like I called my friend and my friend was
Yeah.
like, sis, I can help you. Seek
No,
help.
I remember you called me. Even I didn't know how to help you because
Yeah.
that was deep. I can't even imagine what you had gone through in that moment because you witnessed it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's beyond what anyone could have really helped you with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That would have been a time to go to therapy.
Yeah, but at that time too, I was financially challenged. Yeah, I was going through it, and therapy is not cheap.
It's not cheap.
So I spoke to someone. We did like a brief consultation,
Mm-hmm.
and then she's like, "Okay, well, based on your situation, we're gonna do at least 12 sessions for about an hour to 2 hours, and these are my prices." I said, "Lady, you gonna put me to therapy just because it was crazy?" She showed me the prices. I was like, "I'm good. I'm
good.
healed.
Yeah.
I'm healed. After seeing that amount,
No, I'm healed.
so that was so discouraging. Knowing also
Yeah.
like, cause like I said, it's not cheap.
Yeah.
So you have to be financially prepared to be able to afford therapy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I get it. I do get it. But it's fair. I mean, if you have benefits, honestly, use it. But if you don't, I understand. I understand. But definitely, that would have been a good time to go because it was heavy what you went through.
Yeah.
It was really heavy, you know. But all in all, I'm gonna say I'm still an advocate for therapy.
Mhm.
I want the African community to recognize how important it is because I think a lot of us too are dealing with unhealed trauma that we've carried on for years.
Yeah.
And trauma has become our way of life.
Yeah.
Like holding on to trauma has become a way of life to where we don't know that we can actually get rid of it. We can actually heal from it.
Mhm.
We don't know because we're so used to living with the trauma of the past.
Mhm.
And if we just seek the help that we need, then we can move forward, you know? So I would love for like our family members, our community to open up their minds to the idea
Now, what do
of
we
going.
have to do to convince them that it's not that bad? They can do it. Because yeah,
I
we
don't
can
know.
talk. We can talk about it. We can have the conversation. We can be persuasive. But
Yeah.
how convincing do you have to be in order to help someone? Do you have to tell them, "Hey, I think you're bipolar. You should."
No.
No, but there is no. Honestly, I've seen it all, and there's some people that you can tell that they have a certain diagnosis.
Yeah, yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I know some people close to me that you can literally tell that they have bipolar disorder.
Yeah.
If you tell them, "Hey, I think something,
Yeah.
you should seek someone else. You should even see a doctor."
Yeah.
Actually, sorry, a friend of mine, we had a conversation with her actually. She mentioned that doctors can also prescribe you with a therapist based on what you tell them on your situation. They can easily target what the
That's
issue
good.
is, and then they
That's
refer you
actually really
to your
good.
therapist. So I think that's how I would approach someone that, like, if I was to present therapy to someone,
Yeah.
I would literally just tell them, "Hey, why don't you just go see a doctor and see what's wrong, and then they can advise and refer you to a correct
Yeah.
therapist."
Yeah. That's actually really good. Also, I think reframing the idea of therapy, because the way that people have one notion of it, like, oh, it's for when you've hit rock bottom, or it's for
Yeah.
when after issues have struck, or it's taboo, or it's for weak people, whatever notion people have of therapy. I think reframing it, I'm not ashamed, embarrassed, shy to talk about the importance of going to therapy. Like, I'm not embarrassed a bit about it because I know that when I was struggling with my mental health, if someone had told me, "Deb, you need to go to therapy," I think I would have been more open. But I didn't even think about it.
Because some people
It
get
wasn't.
offended.
Yeah, exactly. They
Yeah.
think, "Oh, are you calling me crazy? Are you calling me this?" No,
Yeah.
but it's 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 needed, you know. So I think if someone had told me back in the day Deb, you should really find a therapist, and actually explained to me the importance of it
Yeah.
and reframed it in my own mind, I think I would have gone to therapy sooner. So for that, I think just reframing the idea of what therapy is. If you're talking about it to someone, like I talk to my mom all the time, for example, about the importance of therapy and stuff like that. I will continue to remove your preconceived notions and replace it with the truth.
Is she open to it?
Yeah, yeah. Now, because I've instilled new
Yeah.
thoughts
Yeah.
about therapy
And
versus and
ideas.
removed the old ones that she had. So, yeah, I think it's possible. I think it's possible.
We definitely need to do better for our community. And if you're in a position to help, then be that person.
Yeah.
There's absolutely nothing to lose.
Yeah, let's stop because I feel like we're holding ourselves back.
Yeah.
Like as the black community, for example, we could be thriving more than we are. Like we could really be thriving, but
That part.
we are bound by these traumas. We're bound even when it comes to our relationships, who we end up with, ending up divorced or ending up in toxic relationships. All these things, we're carrying the trauma from the past
And it's
into the future,
generational.
and it's generational.
Yep.
So all we need to do is let go of all these things so we can start to heal truly and pass down better things to our children and be able to have healthier relationships and healthier conversations
And build a better future.
exactly I'm like, I don't like that we are so like, we're holding on for dear life.
I feel like we're our worst enemies.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're our worst enemies.
Yeah. At this point. It's sad, but honestly, build a better future starts with us.
Yeah.
This generation, like I said, like I'm vouching for this generation because it's the better generation. It's a generation that's willing to make a change.
It's
to
a
do the
generation of change. Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
We're
I agree.
tired.
Yeah, we're tired.
We're tired.
It is. So it's really up to us to get things done. To get things done. But yeah.
So so now that we have two different perspectives on therapy and utilizing friends,
Yeah.
would you be open to speak to your friends about certain issues that you're going through, or are you you're more firm with seeking professional help?
It depends on what it is. The thing with me is, like I said before, that because I'm very logical, you have to ask me the question for me to tell you what's wrong. Like my friend knows, for example, like that I will never text her to say, hey, I'm not in a good mood or I'm sad or I have a hard time.
See,
I know. Listen, before you start getting at me, I know. I'm sorry.
because sometimes I text you, I'll be like, I'm hurting. How do you look at it? You're like, because I know we've had that conversation before.
No, yeah, but I love when my friends ask me because I'm like a therapist for them, right? Like, because I've always said I should have been a therapist because it's what I love to do. I feel like I was born with the capacity to handle people's problems. I can take it all and I won't feel drained, overwhelmed. I will not feel like capacity. My capacity level is huge, but for me to come talk to you about my issues, it doesn't come natural to me because my logic supersedes my emotions.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to be in my feelings and say, oh, hey, I'm going through, it's hard. But that day that I was going to call you, genuinely, I was going to, because I had reached my limit and I was actually really struggling. I was crying the entire evening. Yeah. So I was actually going to call you, but I'm like, I know you wake up at 4 a.m. So I was trying to be so considerate of your feelings. That's why I didn't call you.
Don't be considerate of my feelings when it comes to that. When it comes to your feelings, forget my feelings. Put you first.
I gotta put me first. I gotta put me first, Lucian.
Honestly, like I would love to, because I love the fact that my friends are there for me.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they're so accepting. Like I have a friend that tells me, I wish I was more like you. I cry.
Yeah.
I don't mind crying. And if I'm crying, if I call my friend and that little feeling that you have in your throat. Yeah.
Like it's heavy.
Yeah. And
you need to cry.
Exactly. And your friend will, like, even hugging when you're about to cry, but you want to hold it in. Yeah. And you hug someone, let it out. When I hear let it out, just let it out. Let it out. Baby, you just hugged my heart.
It's over.
And I would love to be that person for someone.
I get it.
So, but I understand what you mean by like
I'm working
being
on it.
logic too. But there's nothing wrong with being in tune with your emotions. Again, like I said
Yeah.
earlier, it's about being able to navigate between your logic and your emotions
Yeah.
and try to understand exactly what's going on in that sector.
Yeah. No, I agree, and I get it. So to answer your question,
Mm-hmm.
I would do both. So I want to be more like open with my friends, and actually, if something is wrong or I just need advice, to go to my friends. I don't need to go to therapy for that, but um, it's harder. It's not as natural for me. So I'm working on it because I do want to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it is something that's deeper, where I do feel like I need therapy, I have to discern. Okay, this is actually more for a therapist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't think
Right.
my friends would have the capabilities to figure this out. So it's all about figuring out what you need
Mm-hmm.
and going the avenue that you think will help you the best. I think so. Both are needed.
Amazing.
Both are needed.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about you? Do you feel like you're more open to seeking therapy when needed, as opposed to just thinking about, let me go to my friends?
If you're to ask me my truth,
Yeah,
what is my truth?
that's what's your truth.
I would say I'm open to
Okay.
therapy, but the downfall and the thing that's holding me back is having to do the research, and
Why is that
then
holding you back?
you have to do your research. You have to go see a doctor. He has to refer you to, I don't know, a therapist.
No, you could just find one online and just go. You don't have to go through your doctor.
Yeah, but you still have to do the research about the therapist.
Yeah.
Is the therapist capable enough to be able to handle what I'm doing, what I'm going
Right,
through? Is
right.
the therapist able to identify my issues?
Right.
If not, am I even able to financially afford this therapist?
That too.
Again, let me just call Derek, because Derek knows it all.
Your finances are
Yeah.
keeping you bound, bro. Let's go.
I feel like I'm being stingy with my finances because I forgot that benefits can cover
Benefits.
therapy.
Yeah. Yo, I have a lot of benefits for therapy.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to use it. My pastor told me yesterday, she's like, Deb, you need to empty out that bank
That
account.
bank,
Yeah,
yeah.
for therapy. Use it all benefits.
Yeah.
Don't be stingy because they take money from you for stuff like that. Use it.
Yeah, no, I think I'll just have to. And you mentioned something that you don't have to reach your breaking point,
No.
or you're all the way down.
That's a
low
misconception.
for you to seek therapy.
Therapy should be proactive, not just reactive.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. So yes, I think I will definitely be open and do my research on therapy, and then when I'm ready, then I will call Miss Shrink,
Miss Shrinky?
Miss Shrinky,
Okay.
and she can help me out.
Well, thank you. I like this conversation. I think it was very needed, and I hope that that people took something away from it, you know, and that you will not let yourself just like be bound by the notion that you have of therapy.
Don't
You know
make
what I mean?
excuses.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't be like me. Don't make excuses. Just whatever your mind tells you, your heart will follow.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm an advocate for therapy. I think I will eventually do seek help, professional
Yeah.
help. But let us know what you guys think about therapy. Is it for you? Do you think that if you did therapy, did it help? We would love to know.
Yeah.
We want to build a community where people have a safe space to speak about those type of things.
Yeah.
And be a change to what we have going on in this world.
Exactly. So comment below, like, share, and subscribe. And we thank you guys for watching this episode. We hope you guys got a lot out of it. And we will talk to you guys in the next episode.
Yes. See you guys. Bye, friends.
Bye.